My name's Emma. I'm a partner, I'm a sister, I'm a cousin, and I'm a mother. And I was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer. I felt that something wasn't quite right in November 2023, and I felt a lump in my left breast. But I was just so sure that it wasn't cancer because I thought cancer couldn't happen to me. I went to the GP and I said, I have this lump, can you just quickly check it? And it kind of all snowballed then from there. The next stage after talking to my GP was to go and get a biopsy. About a week later, I got a call from the GP and she said, you need to come and see me now. And I said, why? Just tell me. And she said, you have cancer. And sat me down and said, you have stage 2-3. Yeah, you have stage 2-3 triple-negative breast cancer. I had no idea what triple-negative breast cancer was, but it was very surreal. And at that stage, I hadn't really, accepted what was happening to me. Telling people is really hard because you have to accept what's happening to you and then you have to deal with a big emotion. It probably hit me when I was driving to chemo for the first time. I had 6 months of chemo, 8 months of immunotherapy, a double mastectomy and implant reconstruction surgery. During treatment, it felt like my body didn't belong to me. A difficult part of chemo is you then begin to look sick and then you're very vulnerable. I wasn't really coping and I realised that I couldn't do this on my own and I needed some help. I didn't know who else to call. I'd just been diagnosed and then I knew that there was support, but I didn't really know where it came from. I found out about Breast Cancer Care WA actually through the Cancer Council, and then that's when I met Leah and Katie.
It takes a lot of courage to make that first call. People don't like to ask for help sometimes, and honestly, it changed their world. Most of those people would be feeling quite distressed, and they've probably got 1,000 things going through their mind. People start going, am I going to be able to do this? I've heard all these horrible stories. Who's going to look after my children? How are we going to pay the mortgage? Who's going to clean the house? Will I be able to drive? Your experience is actually completely normal. They have a conversation with our support services coordinator who really helps them to identify what their key issues are today and what service in our team they're going to need the most. And they need someone to help them think, okay, one step at a time, what can I do something about today?
Leah came to my house and I cried at her for an hour. Both Leah and Katie gave me perspective and understanding. Leah, for example, said, of course you feel this way because you're on the strongest chemo regime. I was having some pretty dark thoughts, which I would talk to Katie about. And she said, you've said nothing here today that makes me worry. They helped me understand what was happening because in hindsight, I had no experience with cancer. I didn't really understand the treatment. I didn't really understand how it would affect my mental health. So while my friends and family looked after my children, Breast Cancer Care WA looked after me. I was their priority.
The key thing I feel is very powerful is that we've got a very relationship-based approach to how we do what we do. So when they're linked to a nurse, that will be their breast care nurse for the period of the support that they're offered. If they're linked to a counsellor, that will be the counsellor they will stay with throughout their period.
The level of care provided was outstanding. It meant that I had somebody to talk to. I had an outlet. I could ask any question that I wanted. I could express any feeling that I was having. And I was met with reassurance and a safe place at a time where I was feeling incredibly vulnerable. Breast Cancer Care WA not only supported me, but in turn supported my partner and my children to help us all get through a really difficult time. Gave me an introduction to a nanny service and $500 worth of support.
The fact that people don't have to pay for our service means they can access it because they probably couldn't afford it otherwise.
The phone call to Breast Cancer Care WA changed everything for me. I used to say to my son all the time, you can do hard things. But I probably didn't really believe that about myself, but now I do. Cancer happens to real people, and people need support while they're going through it. And that's what Breast Cancer Care WA does.